So I just saw the convoy of President Tinubu across a market, going across a market at the island in Lagos while returning from the mosque, and they're counting over 50 vehicles on that convoy. And I asked myself, how would Nigerians even believe that there is no money? He has said in different forums that we should try as much as we can to and to you know try and take these baby steps at this period, that things will get better soon. The vice president has also said that he's committed, or his government is committed to making things better. That this is the first phase. Things have to go bad before it gets good. That we should watch out for the new year 2024. Then you are telling Nigerians to tighten their seatbelt. Things are going to get tough. That it's going to get worse, but it will get better over time. These are baby steps. These are trying times. And yet, the little resources that is given to you to manage as a president who is only appointed for just 4 years, they are seeing you waste the funds. Who would believe that there's no money in this country? If you tell a white man, if you tell anybody who has watched the president's move in the last 7 months, nobody would say that this country doesn't have money, or the presidency doesn't have money, or maybe the reason why they're borrowing is because they needed monies to fund their infrastructure, because even the president doesn't look like the country doesn't have money. COP28, the latest, reference, you took over 400 persons who have no bearing. As far as I'm concerned, it's not more than 20 persons or 30 persons are enough to go for that, who have anything meaningful to contribute to that COP28. Then you are telling the world that, look, if I'm coming to borrow from you, from telling World Bank, IMF, whatever organization or country they are borrowing, and I'm coming to borrow from you, give it to me, because I couldn't afford XY amount of persons coming over, because of course every other person who's coming is coming humongous amount of persons. Then the excuse you are giving is that African, we're a nation of African giants, and because we are African giants, we carry the highest number of delegates, and it's madness to me. So the poor persons you are telling to just stay steadfast, endeavor to stay for the future. This is more like an investment for the future. You have to pay the price for the future that you need. How would they agree? How would they in their mind say, okay, you know what, this is a president that is moderate, this is a president that is trying to save for the rainy day? You have over 50 vehicles following you from one location in Lagos to another. Like, on what basis? Well, there are some arguments that will come up and say, look, see, he's not the only person who is on that particular convoy. There could be chief of staff, there could be ministers, there could be people who may have come around from around the world to come and visit him. Even governors from every state would have come around to visit him. His house is like a Mecca right now. He's on holidays. But then you ask yourself, is it that they couldn't go in a smaller convoy? Why 50 vehicles? And those 50 vehicles, we know that the least engine that those 50 vehicles would have is a V6. The least engine would be a V6, and you know how V6 run. And we know how much a fuel price is. All those vehicles, the oil, the fuel are actually the monies meant for the masses, taxpayers' monies. So how do you convince Nigerians? How do you tell Nigerians, look, keep on grinding, we are getting there? And you yourself, as a president who is appointed, who's going to be there at most 8 years, you're not looking to grind with Nigerians. You're living, look at the area he even passed. Look at people, look at what they are shouting, that they are hungry. And you're carrying the amount of convoy. And when they pick stone and stone the vehicle now, you start assaulting them, you start jailing them, you start, making inference. Look, there's a lot we need to do, there's a lot we need to learn. I don't know who is advising, or who is speaking, or who is even talking to the president. Convoy doesn't, it irritates Nigerians even more when convoys of that number move with anybody. It's not even about the president now. Anybody, whether it's governor, local government chairman, senator, just name it. It irritates the average Nigerian. It irritates them how they are unable to even celebrate the best of Christmas, the best of the season, going to the market to see things skyrocket, and they're asking themselves, why are they even paying this amount of monies to fend for themselves, whereas the person who is asking them to do that for the rainy day, for the betterment of the future, isn't seen to be doing the same thing. Why? Why? I'm not even sure Buhari had this luxury of carrying vehicles from one place to another. When he moves with a chunk of people whom he needs. For crying out loud, can we be focused and be seen to be a poor country? There's nobody that would look at those videos. Those videos now, I'm sure, must have gotten more than 50,000 views around the world, or 50 million views around the world. There's nobody that will see that video and say this country is saying who has this convoy. They'll tell you it's the president of one country that has been begging for funds. That one country that's even in debt. One country in Africa that's whose debt profile is horrendous. Who is borrowing money to service their debts? That country that has multidimensionally poor people in a number of 133 million or more. In fact, it's more because the 133 million was around February, March. Now there are like 7.5 million people who have actually added to the number of that 100. So we're looking at around 141 million persons who are multidimensionally poor. One of those vehicles, if you sell it, would make the life of 10 families in Nigeria. They will never come back to you to come and ask for anything. But look at where we are. You're carrying convoy everywhere. You go to COP, you carry over 400 persons. You go to your house here in Lagos, you are carrying over 8,000 people. This is not the way to govern. No. This is my honest take. Frankly speaking, it's irritating to see people being in disarray, being in total dismay, don't even know where the next meal is going to come from. And yet, I have a president who has a penchant for moving around with loads and loads of cars, with meaningless movement, and those cars are even empty. Those vehicles are even empty, just drivers and few persons. Well, why would other people join the vehicle to get to wherever they are going to? This is wrong. Let's retrace our steps. It's very important.